Well, a bit of toing and froing and last minute, but we have got the Minister of Police, Mark Mitchell, joining us now, and I thank him for making himself available at short notice. Minister, good morning to you. You there, Mark? Oh, hang on. You there, Mark?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. All right.
Okay, hang on, mate. Sean,
Yeah.
just let me pull over because
You want to be safe?
take you
Good
off
on you.
speaker.
Good on you.
No, and then I can take you off speakerphone,
Okay.
mate. So just let me. Okay. And all right, mate. Is that better?
Oh, yeah, much better. Well, Minister, let's just see where all this started. Reports out of RNZ yesterday suggesting that new operational guidelines suggest police will not investigate two types of crimes. That is, petrol drive-offs of under $150 and shoplifting offences where the total goods are under $500. Can you confirm whether or not that's the case?
Well, from what I understand, there was an OIA and a police memo came out, and it sounds like it was a poorly worded memo that went along those lines. But I think Matt Turney from the Retail Crime Unit came out, was pretty clear about the fact that no, of course the police will respond where they can. However, they do prioritise. They've always done that. Even when I was back in the job, we prioritised. If I had, as a police dog handler, if I was tracking offenders from a violent crime and there was a call to go to a shoplifter, then I'd have to prioritise and track offenders from a violent crime. But if I was free and there was a minor shoplifting job coming, then I'd go to that and attend that. So that nothing should change. Our expectations as government is that's exactly the way policing should be done now. Of course, there's massive pressure on resources. There's no doubt about that. And that's why, as the incoming minister, I look carefully at the advice that I got. You've seen us take a very measured approach to withdrawing police from mental health call-outs that need a mental health response and not a law enforcement response. We're doing a lot of that stuff to free up resources so that we can attend and we can deal with the retail crime.
So there is no suggestion, Minister, that a new monetary value or threshold has been set on how you prioritise, because that's the impression that the Radio New Zealand story creates, is that there's a new, if it's under that, don't bother rule.
Yes, I accept that. And what I can tell you from the government's perspective is the expectation is every crime is treated as that and deserves a response.
So are you telling us there is no monetary cut-off? If it's below that, we don't bother. We're not going California and Gavin Newsom here.
Yeah, from the government perspective, absolutely. That goes against every expectation we have.
Okay, that's the government's expectation. I think it's the public's expectation too.
Yeah.
Will you get an assurance from those who operationally run the police that that expectation is being met, that we don't have this cut-off point with a dollar value?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and I'm very confident that both the Commissioner and I are fully aligned on that. We've got an outstanding Police Commissioner who's doing some great work. And by the way, just a shout out to our police officers, they're working across stakeholders with the retail sector. There's a whole lot of initiatives underway. They're starting to make some really positive inroads into violent retail crime. They're tackling the bigger, wider issue around shrinkage and shoplifting as well. And they're doing some great work. And I know that the Commissioner and I are fully aligned in terms of what the expectations are and what we want to achieve.
All right. Can I tell you, are you going to meet with the retailers? Because I can tell you it was like a public panic on this show this morning, Minister.
and I understand that without a doubt, because as a country we've seen a massive increase in crime over the last 5 or 6 years, and we're working flat out to get on top of that. Make no mistake, it's a bigger, there's a big tsunami sitting in front of us, but we're making forward progress. We're really motivated and focused on making sure that we continue to do that we start to return our country to being one of the safest in the world. And there's some really good work going on, Sean. So I just want to provide that reassurance that no, every crime will be taken seriously, and where the police can, they do have to prioritise, and that is operational. Just as I've highlighted, even when I was in the job over 30 years ago, they had to prioritise. But there's a focus on every crime.
Okay, and there is not a new rule about monetary value being the determinant of how you prioritise.
So certainly that's operational, but the expectation from this government is absolutely there is no monetary rule applied to response to any sort of crime.
Can we expect, wouldn't it be helpful, Minister, if we had a clear statement to that effect from police themselves, saying they're operationally responsible.
Yes, and I think that you will see police coming out and clarifying that today.
All right. Has this been a fake news story?
Has it been a what?
A fake news story.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I just think that there was a poorly worded memo. It's left a bit of ambiguity, and certainly from our side.
Well, I
from
think
the
the police
government side,
commissioner. I
I
think you've done all you can to clear that up. I think the police commissioner needs to clear it up today as well. For the, I think for the peace of mind of New Zealanders, Minister.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I'm sure they will.
Okay,
but I agree with you.
I thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thanks, Sean.
Cheers. That is Mark Mitchell, the Minister of Police. What a way to wrap up a very early morning. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see if the police commissioner comes out and makes that clear. Sean, the police minister, laughing to a comment of yours is not appropriate. Well, I've done all I can to clear this up.